What is up, everybody? Ace here, and I am back playing on the JFS. It's actually been a little while. What am I doing with this coal? I actually haven't been on much at all in the past. Well, basically since UHC ended. Just toss some of this in here. But I've been on today and have been doing plenty of digging. I think I've shown the new setup. Yeah, we did that on camera. But I've been working on that section there. And gonna do some more updating and a little bit of a UHC recap. I actually did a proper one on the JFS show on the Jsano fan server channel with Shawson and Mixer. So those of you who are part of the JFS can definitely go check that out there. Those who are not, I can't guarantee that I'm going to link it in the description, so just, I guess, search it up. So, but yeah, we'll continue working on that. I've already checked my shops, and it's been quiet. I think only Killer and maybe some other people have been on, but I have not. None of the regulars that you would expect. I definitely know that Killer's been on lately because I checked the statistics page, and he has taken the lead in hours played over Dennis, so I'm gonna have to cover this hole up once I get all the stuff I want from here, because this is the wall. Oh, I have some blocks I can use. Boop, boop. Scrap that. 4, 5, 6, 7. Drop that in there. I'm just using anything that's not cobble to patch up these walls here. I am going to have to fill in that section there because this part is the wall here, and as you can see, it's quite indented. The issue is that my little setup also goes into the wall as well, so I'm probably gonna have to end up moving all that around, which will be a little bit annoying. Although I am moving everything into the corner here, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'll probably just move everything back there. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about UHC, and then I'll do some life updates. So I'm going to talk more briefly. I'm going to focus in on what happened to me in the season, and talk a little bit about the gimmicks and such. I should also note that UHC Battles is on the way. It's like halfway done. I just haven't actually haven't even watched the final 2 episodes from anybody's perspective as of yet, and it's been a few days or like a week or so since the UHC has ended. It's just sitting in my watch later playlist, but every time I look at it, I'm just like, maybe later. So I will get to it, just when I feel more inspired, maybe. But it is partially done, so I have started on it. But yeah, my season did not go too well. It started off quite well. I started in the middle of the map, which we had ice spires in the middle, and see, I got myself my starting gear. Then I went in search for some oak trees, and I found a plains biome to make use of, and it turns out Dennis actually saw me out there on the first day. Of course, can't do anything about that because of the gentleman's agreement, the grace period. And then went underground and found myself a little bit of a cave, and I basically stayed there the rest of the season. There's like a ravine and a little bit of enough of a cave for me to find everything that I needed. I found diamonds at the very tail end of the first episode, and I was like, I'm going to be extra careful this episode or this season, and then I saw diamonds, and I was like, ooh, I could get that before the end of the episode. And, because that would make a statement on the season. And, of course, there was a spider guarding it, and I was like, I can handle him. And, I did, at the cost of 2 hearts. So yeah, my bid for Iron Man ended early yet again. So, but maybe someday I'll get that one. I seem to have had a knack for taking damage early. Like, I don't take damage often, but when I do, it's like, you can guarantee it's going to happen in like the first 2 episodes. And if it doesn't, then I'm probably going to go for, probably going to make a strong bid for Iron Man, but otherwise, I'm going to take damage pretty early, one way or another. So, but yeah, it was only 4 diamonds, but I found the rest, I believe, in the 2nd episode. Got myself enchanting by the 3rd episode, and my enchantments were getting pretty good. I got myself up to, I believe I had a sharpness 3, or I was intending to get a sharpness 3 quite soon for my sword. I had about 30-ish gold on me, and I had the 2 string from that one spider I killed. I don't even think I found another spider after that. If I did, I never got to kill it. I think I saw like one more, but I never got a chance to kill it, or never dropped anything. Around that time, I realized that Killer was not at good health, and he also had tamed a wolf. I was like, maybe I should go to the surface and see if I can kill him, see if I can run into him. But I decided not to, because I didn't have a bow yet, and I figured other people would be on the surface as well. It turns out I was right, because Dennis and Joda got into some combat during that episode, and Joda managed to jump away to his death before Dennis could kill him. But yeah, and then the 4th episode was when everything basically took off. Our debutant JMP man, or just J for short, he got a kill on Muckluck back in episode 2, after Muck tried to get the jump on him and failed. Jay managed to get himself up a little bit in health and then died to a creeper. Shortly after that, Shasta and Nixer got into a good fight. Well, I say good fight, but it was Nixer just kind of wailing on him. And Shasta tried to use some lava, but it did not register in time. And then Panda ran up right behind him, right after Shastin died, and Nixer managed to kill him as well. So he got a double kill right off the bat. Got me a message. Let's see. Oh, I should write my little rail system. This is where I go to get to my cobblestone. Because this is all full of cobblestone. Every single chest here. Up until this point. So. Oh yeah, what was next? Dennis and Bagel got into a fight. And Dennis came up with the kill there. That was a pretty good fight right there. And around that time, I was like, I should start going to the surface, because I need to get string for a bow. I need apples. People are getting into combat. Maybe I could run out there and make something happen. I think I would have done alright with the setup that I had. I didn't have a bow, but like Nixer wasn't even enchanted. I think Dennis would probably have been the toughest opponent, like setup wise. Killer is obviously the skilled player, but Dennis had think Dennis had some enchants going as well at the time. I think, right? But yeah, I was about ready to go, and I paused to smelt some iron up. That way I would have enough levels to enchant my bow once I got it. And as I was waiting for it to smelt, I saw a bit of lava. Just a small patch of lava over on the other side of the ravine. And I was like, okay, I'll fill that in. So I went over to fill it in, and creeper drops down and blows me up, and I die. I was not happy. I was not happy with that one. So yeah, I was kind of mad at myself, primarily when it happened initially, because I thought that I had plenty of time to turn around, and all I did was panic. And you could tell I panicked a little bit because I went to my inventory right before I died. But watching it back, there was actually a lot less time between the creeper dropping and it blowing up, which is what it does when it drops and takes damage. Yeah, it was still a little bit my fault. So the thing that bugs me about the whole death, is the whole thing about me like being so careful as to not get myself killed. Like, if you watch me while I'm, torching up the ravine, like an episode or two before, like I was putting a lot of effort into making sure that it was safe. I was torching up the walls. I was getting rid of any water in the area. I don't think there was much, but if there was, I got rid of it. I made sure to make it as safe as possible. And, like, I spent a lot of time in that ravine, and even, like, I'm pretty sure I left and came back at one point. I don't know, that creeper just spawned in one little spot. And that ravine wasn't even the kind that's dangerous, per se. Because the dangerous ones are the ones with all the shelves on top, all the ledges. And this one just had, like, little nooks here and there. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. So, I was not happy with that at all. But on my end, I also kind of set myself up for failure. Not that I knew that the creeper was there. I haven't watched my perspective back in full of that moment. I've watched the death itself in like my final few seconds, but I'm pretty sure that you can't see this creeper at any point beforehand. And yeah, it was basically a surprise drop in, and I had never seen it, so. And of course, you look at the what ifs, like, should I have smelted my iron there? Should I have smelted it at all? Should I have just gone and gotten my bow and then smelted my iron later? Should I have I definitely should not have run out and tried to fill in that little bit of lava. I was kind of really doing it to pass the time, but I do remember in my head thinking, this could be dangerous. I should patch it up. Even though I was on the verge of leaving. If I'd smelted the iron and basically just kind of stayed there, I would have probably been safe because I would have stayed under the ledge, and then once I got my iron, I could have continued on, and the creeper probably would have never seen me. Even if it did, as long as I'm making a beeline for the exit, it would have dropped down behind me, if at all, and I would have been fine. But that's not how it happened. And so, here I am. And yeah, this isn't the first time that I've had creeper issues. I think this is like the 4th time, if I remember correctly. Like season 10, and then 14, 16, and now 23. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's any other time. But yeah, I have had a rough go of it with these creepers. I thought I saw a coal in there, but it was in my inventory. My pickaxe is getting close to breaking. I'll probably just use the other one just to finish this off. Boop, boop, boop. So yeah, that was the end of my season. But Nixer went on to win. He beat Killer, which is why I called my final episode, I called it Rerun, because it was the same ending as the other free-for-all we had, which was season 13. So yeah. I was going to mention gimmicks. We did the always closing border. I think that went pretty well. It lingered in the back of people's minds, and you saw people going to the surface quite often, which was good to see, which created more combat more often. And so yeah, overall I think the always closing border was good. It also created a pretty short season, once you think about it. It was only 6 episodes, about 6.5. And yeah, it was a pretty short one. Respond to that real quick. Yeah, let's switch to this one. Do we have any other gimmicks? Free-for-all, yeah, oops. Nobody really likes free-for-all. Well, a few people do. I think Dennis is fine with it. And, you know, the majority of people prefer some sort of team, so. But, again, I think it went well enough because those who don't like free-for-all usually try to make short work of it, you know, get it over with, and that leads to some exciting content, and battles are a lot more spread out throughout the season. You know, we saw a kill in season 2, we saw a fight season 2, we saw a fight in episode 2, 3, I think every episode after the first one. So, you know, it's not often we get kills that spread out. So, we were going to do the cities, but we cannot because the mod is not updated for this season. And usually, last time this happened, I think we kind of did a roundabout thing where we loaded a city in an empty world in the old version, and MC edited it into the new map, or the UHC map. I don't know if it was possible, or actually possible, to do that this time. Lemon said no, but who knows what that means with Lemons. That could be a legit no, or an I could not be bothered at this point. Because I think you get it set up within like a day or two beforehand, so. But either way, gotta credit him for setting up the 0-0 area, which was the ice spikes biome, and the map was cold biome. And Nixon mentioned it in the podcast that it's nice that we get these different maps to work with, because even if they're not, you know, our favorite kinds, you know, this map is not very resource friendly at all when it comes to like apples and such. But it worked out. It was fun, different. Created some extra challenge. It got people, probably also helped people go to the surface and run into other people because they're searching for apples and trying to get ahead. And I would have been doing the same thing. Granted, I would have just like kind of like moved back to where I was before. I don't know if anybody was in the area at the time, but I could run into somebody out there if I had gone to the surface. And me winning or not would have been dependent probably on if they had a bow, because I did not. But yeah, so. And Suspicious Stews did not make an appearance this season. Well, did not make a big impact. They made appearances, just not a big impact. I know Dennis used some. I think Naxer used some. I think Shostin used some, but they were not there was not an abundant supply this time like there was last time. So it looks like we're going to have another season with those around to continue testing that, because it's kind of hard to say when you don't have I guess sufficient data. Well, we kind of do. We know it's very map dependent, biome dependent. So what should we do now? We kind of done the thing I wanted to do. Because I got a little bit more to talk about. Next UHC, Season 24. Scheduled for December, but we might have it in January, because it's kind of, it hits right on the holidays, so we're probably either going to have it on early December or early January is what I'm thinking of. I'm also thinking of, I think Naxer brought up another good point, that usually when we do teams, we decide between random or chosen, and lately we've been doing a lot of random. I kind of want a chosen UHC, but Naxer mentioned that maybe that should be more of a gimmick thing than... Oh yeah, we could start filling that in, I guess. I was just going to wander around. Yeah, using different team dispersions or organizing using those as a gimmick instead of as kind of a standard thing, I guess, because that would make things a little bit more interesting. And the random teams is probably fits the best as the default way to go about things for UHCs, because then you get to play with people. You don't know who your teams are. You can't get the overpowered teams. Well, you could, but it's up to chance, so it's not that big of a deal. So oops. So yeah, I kind of agree with that. I also would like to do a change to the team stuff, in the sense that I think, because of our not so good attendance numbers lately, I think we should take a page out of the NID group. And this actually just popped into my head just now, that it's kind of a NID thing to do. But when they do UHCs, they don't do team sizes until the day of the UHC. They see who shows up and then divide people accordingly. And I think we should do it like that, because, like I said, our team stuff is not... Our team sizes have not been great. Or our attendance numbers have not been great. Team sizes haven't been great either, because we guys have been clamoring for, or Nace's been clamoring for teams of 4. And I'd like to do teams of 4 as well, but we just don't have enough people to do that. So, and we've had a number of times where we would, organize with the intention of doing like teams of 3 or 4, and then we only have a few people show up, and so we have to drop it down to teams of 2 or 3 or something like that. And yeah, it's not as much fun at that point. Or it's, I guess the UHC is still fun, but it's a little disappointing because you're ready to go for teams of 4 and find out you can't do it because nobody wants to play it anymore. So I've been wondering how much farther we could go UHC wise. I'm surprised we made it, through 20. There's times back in like season 14 or so where I was like, I don't know if we're going to be able to make it to 20, but we did. And now I'm curious to see if we'll make it to 30. So yeah, that's all the stuff I have for the moment for that. For life updates, let's see. I'm doing English composition. It's been pretty good. It's been alright. It's weird because my classes have been a huge afterthought in my life, which the good news is it does not affect my grade in that sense. But you would think that something that's supposed to be a passion of mine, doing film work and stuff, you would think that the stuff that I'm doing in these classes would be not only interesting but rewarding, but it's really, I'm just kind of mulling through these first few classes, kind of just waiting for December when I get my film equipment, and then hopefully by then things will start to take off, because right now it's just, do these assignments, do discussion stuff, pretend to care about what other people are doing, it's things like that. And now that I have 2 jobs, it's kind of more of a backseat thing, and I'm still getting my work done and still putting an effort into it, but classes are easy enough that I don't really have to worry about doing a bad job, because I'm not going to, because it's not hard enough to. So, matter of fact, this English comm class is probably the most difficult class I've taken so far. Unless you count my creative presentation one, where I was more annoyed than anything about how that went. But I'm on course for a B in this class, which all my other classes have been like A's, so. But yeah, so that's going. Not very exciting stuff, but it's stuff. There we go. That can actually stay, because that is the wall that I'm trying to use. I actually should probably, get way up there and try to get those last little bits. And I'll finish off my episode here pretty soon. The only thing to talk about is work. It's annoying, work itself is not annoying. One of my jobs kind of is, with scheduling being inconsistent. I've worked all kinds of hours these past few weeks, like 21, 19, 19, 25, or no, 31, and then 2 25s. And now I'm back to 30. So, like, I just want a consistent schedule. But, and then my other job, like I was promised, I was promised 20 to 25 hours a week, which would be kind of tough to do with 2 jobs, but I think I could do it. And really, all that would consist of is like 1 more weekday and 1 more hour per shift, you know. But nope, I'm doing. Last week I did a mere 12 hours. This week I'm doing 16. So I'm back up to 16. Got it. Wanted to light that up so nothing would spawn there. I don't get creeper bombed in this place. So yeah, my finances are kind of slow, and this week I am paying my car payment, which I got another notice about my car potentially being repossessed if I don't pay a little extra. Luckily, the amount is, not that much more, so I'm able to do it, but it's still annoying, and means my account is going to be pretty low this week, and I actually might need to actually don't know if I'm going to have any money from this week. But the big issue is gas right now, because my second job is half an hour away, and that actually, it's like 20 miles. So I'm doing 40 miles worth of gas per day, 3 to 4 days a week. Actually, it's 4 to 5 because I don't work Fridays, but I get paid Fridays, and it's not direct deposit, so I have to go out there to pick it up. So it's an extra 40 miles to do that, which is annoying. And he can't schedule me for Fridays because it's already booked. So I have to show up and pick up my paycheck. My alternative is to wait until my next work day and pick it up, which I guess if I have to do that, I will. But that looks good. So, but assuming everything goes smoothly, this week I get paid at my second job, just my second job, and then next week I will get paid from both jobs, and from there I should start to not only catch up, but get ahead on things, and yeah, hopefully I can start doing the stuff that I intended to do. I've already paid off 1 debt collector. My next task will be to pay off the rent that I owe, and then I will follow that up by paying more debt collectors, or I could try paying off my car payment a little bit faster, like at least catch up on it. And I also have my credit cards to pay off, so a lot of stuff on the way. I think I get a Christmas bonus this year from my second job, so that'd be nice. And then springtime is tax season, so I might get some extra money from that, but who knows? Hopefully. But that's going to do for me for this episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching, and I shall see you all next time.